guys, how's it going? So today's video is going to be hopefully a helpful one for you guys. I have the new Born This Way concealers by Too Faced. They just showed up in my mailbox last night, and I thought it might be a good idea, a good kind of informational video for you guys to see a wear test between these and my OGs, the Naked Skin concealers by Urban Decay. These are amazing concealers. They're ones I reach for all the time. They've replaced a lot of my other favorites. So I kind of wanted to put these two head to head. You know what I mean? I'm going to do half my face with the Too Faced concealer and half my face with the Urban Decay. And we're going to compare the two sides over time to see if there are any differences. And then hopefully at the end I can tell you guys if I have a preference. And you guys can also make your own judgment calls based on, you know, the close-up shots and stuff like that. A little about my skin before we get started. I do have some blemishes, of course, from this far away. The skin softening kicks on this camera, but it is on low. But I do have hormonal redness around kind of my mouth and nose and on my cheeks a little bit, but it's not looking so bad in my viewfinder. So let me zoom you guys in so you can pick up a little bit on that. So this is kind of a close-up. You can see some breakouts here. Some of the redness kind of coming through. It's not actually so bad today. And then with concealer, my biggest concern is under the eyes. I have a lot of these little fine lines going on right here that can be a little tricky when working with concealer. So we're going to test the crease proofness. Is that a word? Just as an FYI, the shades I'm going to be using in the Urban Decay is fair under the eyes and then light kind of everywhere else, and then very fair in the Born This Way concealer, and then fair. They seem to be pretty close matches. The Urban Decay light and the fair in the Too Faced seem to be really similar, and then the fair in Urban Decay and very fair in Too Faced seem to be really similar. I'm going to swatch these on my hand next to each other so you guys can kind of see the difference in consistency right away. So here's a swatch of the Too Faced in Very Fair, and this is Fair in Urban Decay, I believe. Yeah, so pretty similar in color. Obviously, the Urban Decay one is a little bit more yellow, but I think that'll be just fine at the end. This one's actually a little bit of a better match for me. So yeah, you can see the Urban Decay has a little bit more pigment, and it's a little bit less lightweight, even though it is a really lightweight concealer. So I'm curious to see how these stand up to each other. Okay, I'm going to start with the Urban Decay since I know how that applies. I'm going to do that on this side. Just going to use the fair kind of under the eyes. This is way more than I normally do, by the way. And I'm going to use a little bit of light kind of everywhere else. Alright, I'm just going to use my Beauty Blender for both, just to blend these out.
What you gonna do?
Okay, one half is done. That seemed to cover pretty well. So let's try the next one. Alright, so same thing on this side, but I'm using Very Fair under the eyes here. This one feels a little bit differently, almost a little bit more emollient. It almost feels like it might be better if you have dry skin, which I do have a really dry under eye area, but my T-zone is quite oily and down my nose. So we'll see how it works with all of that. And then I'm going to do a little bit of the regular fair, just kind of everywhere else. Boop. Boom. And Beauty Blender. Let's speed this up. This part's boring.
What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Okay, initial thought. I'm loving how this one is blending out. And my skin does, at least initially, look a bit more kind of healthy and dewy. Okay, so we have it applied to both sides. They are very similar. I do see a little bit of like pimples and whatever showing through, but I honestly don't mind that. I don't like a super full coverage all the time. and my skin really does look like skin on the Too Faced side. The Urban Decay one is a little bit drier, but that is overall a really nice kind of lightweight concealer that has been my favorite so far for under the eyes. It creases a lot less than my kind of original fave, the MAC Pro Longwear. But I'm liking my under eye better so far with the Too Faced one. So I'm gonna zoom you guys in. Okay, so this under eye is the Too Faced Born This Way, and this under eye is the Urban Decay. Just right off the bat, I'm liking this under here better. It looks a little less crepey, even though this one doesn't look bad by any means. I'm liking this better so far. For the sake of this test, I'm going to do kind of very little face makeup. As far as setting goes, I'm going to use the RCMA No Color Powder. And I'm going to use like a pretty conservative amount just to kind of set the under eye area, because I would normally do that, although I am using less than I would normally use. I really want to see how these do compare, and I'll just really kind of lightly... Why am I still holding this up? I'm like an infomercial. What a freak. I'm going to add a little bit of bronzer and contour and blush, but that is it. So hopefully we will be able to really kind of see how this truly holds up throughout the day. That being said, right now it is 2:11, you see, and I will see you guys back here in a few hours. Alright guys, it is almost 6 o'clock, so it's been about just under 4 hours. Yeah, so far the difference between the two, and I know you guys can't see yet until I get close, is very marginal. I noticed that the Too Faced concealer is still overall a little bit more moisturizing, a little bit more dewy in finish, and it may have settled into pores and lines, the Urban Decay, a little bit more than the Too Faced one. I noticed that like in the lines around my mouth and under the eyes, and maybe the pores just a little bit, but it's really such a small difference. They really do seem to be very, very similar, and it's not even as though the formula is the same. There definitely are differences, but on the skin it doesn't seem to make a huge difference. Right now I'm just preferring the Too Faced. I like the finish on me better, and it seems to be wearing a little bit better on me. So now at this point, since I don't have a strong winner, I'm just gonna see how it holds up over time in my oily T-zone kind of a thing, to see if there's a clear winner there. But so far I really like both of them, so I'll keep you posted. So as you can see in the under eye area, again, this is the Too Faced side, this side's Urban Decay. This side looks a tiny bit more dry, you guys, but really not that much. No side is bad at this point, so we shall see. Alright you guys, it is now 8:22 p.m. and I am ready to wash off my makeup. So, overall, my thoughts are the same as the last time I checked in, so I won't repeat myself since you guys just watched that. Now, even more so, my Urban Decay side has creased a little bit more throughout the day, and this side stays pretty good. So if I had to choose a winner, I would say the Too Faced, but it kind of depends on your preferences. The Urban Decay seems to have a bit more coverage, but it dries down a little bit more matte and settles a little bit more, and the Too Faced doesn't do that, and it seems to kind of keep everything nice and smooth, and I think it would be better for dry skin because it has that kind of emollient texture when you first swatch it, and it makes you look a little bit dewy, and it looks just a little bit more natural, a little more skin-like. But that being said, it's really such a small difference, so it's kind of up to you if you guys are in the market. If you need a new concealer, I highly recommend this Too Faced one. I think it's a really nice one, but if you're someone who likes kind of full coverage, a little bit heavier coverage, you like a little bit more of a matte finish, then I would go with the Urban Decay because both products are really, really good. So I'm going to zoom in for you guys so you can see quickly my under eye area. Alright guys, so I really hope the camera picks this up. I'm not really sure if it will, but this side again has Too Faced concealer, this side has the Urban Decay. Let me just make sure it's focused. Alright, and if you can see, hopefully, you can see a little bit more creases in the fine lines kind of under here. and a little bit more kind of crumbling in the inner corner, even though there's eyeshadow over it. But still, both look really, really good. Alright guys, so that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. If you loved it, share it. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. Please subscribe to my channel so you're notified when I put new videos up. I love you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.